The Sheila Mack Show, and I'd like to give a thanks and shout out to the sponsors of today's episode. So before we get started, I have a incredible free masterclass that is going on now from my good friends and sponsors of this episode, fixhormones.com. And so it's what every woman needs to know about hormone restoration. How to restore your hormones to end hot flashes, mood swings, hormonal weight gain, and feel like yourself again without ever setting foot in a doctor's office or changing your daily routine. So, if this described you at all, this is a masterclass for you and it is free. So, in this 60-minute masterclass, you will learn how to know exactly what's causing you to age rapidly, feel tired, fat, old, or moody, even though your doctor says it's normal for your age and all your tests are coming back normal. You'll also learn the two big reasons many doctors are unwilling to prescribe hormone restoration and what they aren't telling you about your hormones. Next, you're going to learn the huge difference between hormone replacement therapy, HRT, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, and natural hormone therapy. And you will also learn how to get a custom hormone balancing prescription to reverse aging, keep weight off, enhance energy, and put an end to perimenopause and menopause symptoms for good. So again, thank you to our sponsors. And if you want to join the free masterclass and claim your spot now, go to fixhormones.com. And welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. Today we have a special focus on bartering and trading. So, this message is for you if you're ready to recession proof your business, your personal life, your finances, and have even more success this year. Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show. I'm your host, Sheila Mack. In this episode, you will learn how to reinvent yourself and rebuild your financial house using the age-old tool of bartering. You're going to learn what a heart-centered and integrated life and career or business can look like. And you're going to learn how to use bartering or trading to find even more success in these changing and challenging financial times. This can help you, your family, business, or career to stay recession proof. You will learn a new way to face challenging moments by choosing higher quality thoughts so that you can manifest more abundance in your business and personal life. Plus, so much more. I promise you'll get tons out of this episode. So go someplace comfy, get out your notepads, and get ready for a listen.
Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of NBC's Sheila Mack Show right here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today we're going to talk about the benefits of bartering in today's economy. Now, some of you may be wondering what bartering is. It is an age-old system of trading goods and services without the use of money. In today's economy, where cash flow can be a major issue, bartering can offer a viable alternative. So today, we are going to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special episode of NBC's Sheila Mack Show, right here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today we are going to talk about the benefits of bartering in our economy. Now, some of you may be wondering what bartering is. It's an age old system of trading goods and services without the use of money. In today's economy, where cash flow can be a major issue, bartering can often be a viable alternative. Today, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of bartering, how to get started, and the real life examples of how bartering can enhance your bottom line. So, without further ado, let's get started. And just to remind you, please go to my YouTube channel, which is Sheila Mack Show on YouTube, and like and subscribe. There you can also find prior episodes of the show. Now, bartering has been around for thousands of years. It's a simple concept where two parties exchange goods or services without using money. In our economy nowadays, bartering has become more prevalent due to these uncertain times that we are facing. In fact, according to a recent survey, 65% of small business owners have engaged in bartering. What? What, are you kidding? Yes, 65%, and that might actually be a lower number, depending on where you look for these surveys. But why is bartering so popular? Well, for starters, bartering can help you save money. If you are a small business owner, you may not have the cash flow to pay for certain services. By bartering or trading, you can exchange your products or services for what you need, and this can help you save money and reduce your expenses. And here is a quick break.
Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mack's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.sheilamack.com today.
And bartering also can help you increase your revenue. Let's say you're a graphic designer and you're looking for a website developer. By bartering with a website developer, you can create a new website for your business. This can help you attract more customers and increase your revenue. In fact, I know a small business owner who bartered his services with a local restaurant. He provided marketing services in exchange for free meals. This not only helped him save money, but it also brought in new customers to his business. So he would end up bringing the clients to this restaurant in order to share more about his business and get them a meal, offer them a lunch or a dinner, and then in exchange, he got more business that way as well. Now, it's not just for small businesses. You can benefit from bartering even if you do not have a business. Everyday people can also use bartering to enhance their bottom line. For example, let's say you're a freelance writer and you need a new computer. You can barter your writing services with a computer store in exchange for writing their product descriptions, and you can receive a new computer. This can help you save money and upgrade your equipment. Okay, story time. This is a quick story time. I learned about bartering before I knew the word bartering. I do this backwards sometimes in my life, I tell you. So I did. I was this young girl. I think I was probably 9 years old, and I really wanted to get a new puppy. Well, unfortunately, The puppies cost a lot of money, and nowadays they cost even more. That's a whole nother episode. So I went to the pet store and I wanted this puppy, and my family had agreed to let me get a puppy if I could figure out how to earn the puppy money myself and food for the puppy and all the things the puppy needs. And I thought, no problem. So I went to the pet store at this young 9.5-year-old, somewhere in that range, um, young girl, and I made a deal to help them with my photography skills. I was really good at photography, and this was, believe it or not, back in the day where we still developed film, all that crazy stuff. So we had a dark room at home, and my grandfather was teaching me how to make do the whole developing of the film, and I would take lots of pictures, especially of animals. So I took pictures of these pets at the pet shop, and they actually used my photos in their advertisement. This was back in what was called the Glendale Daily News Press in Glendale, California. And that pet shop went ahead and used my photos, and in exchange they kept asking me to come back for more photos, and we made an agreement. I got dog food, I got the puppy, and it was a little German shepherd. And that was my first experience with bartering, and of course it blew my grandparents and family's mind away because they didn't think I could do that. So it is possible, and it is still possible today. That is another thing. If you are a parent, you can barter or trade with other parents that you trust and that are vetted with your values. And you can have, maybe you have a date day, and the other family also wants a date day, so you can exchange who's going to watch the kids on what day of the week, or however you do that. And that just gives you some flexibility without paying a high price. And you just need to make sure that it's someone that you really trust. Obviously, with your children, that's super important. Now, it's not just for goods and services. There are other things that can be bartered. Time is also a valuable commodity. So let's say you're a busy parent and you need someone to walk your dog. You can barter your time with a neighbor who needs help with their garden. By exchanging your time, you both benefit without spending money. And, that's a really good thing, because some people walk their dogs regularly, and other people might be working long hours and cannot. I know personally, I end up doing big projects. And when I'm on a big project or doing overtime or extra time with clients, then I'm enjoying that, but my poor puppy might get upset and still need that walk. So this way, at least you can exchange, and so that kind of works out for me really well. Let's talk about how to get started with bartering. First, you need to identify what you have to offer. Are you a graphic designer, a writer, a web developer, a carpenter, a mom, a dog lover? I mean, the list can go on and on. You can get so creative with what you have to barter for. I mean, you might just be really, really clean and organized and be able to reorganize somebody's kitchen cabinets or bedroom closet. Oh my goodness, that's a big one right now. And if you could exchange that um, for something else, then that could really work out for you well, whatever that is. So now it may be that you love to cook, and people always love to eat your food, so then you could barter that, your meals, in exchange for something else that you might need. Now, don't forget to document the barter agreement. What is a barter agreement or trade agreement? When you're negotiating a barter agreement, make sure you have clear explanation about what you're exchanging. So you do need to identify what you have to offer, and then you have this agreement that you write. And this way, you need to be specific about the goods or services you're providing and what you're expecting in return. It's also important to set a timeline for the exchange and to make sure both parties are satisfied with the agreement. Super important. So that is something that sometimes, and I'm sure you know this, whether you're working with your family, your loved one, your spouse, your children, somebody at work or that you work with, you say one thing and they say another, and you have two different, very different pictures in your mind about what that means. And so when you define, I'm going to clean out just these 12 kitchen cabinets and I'm going to do the refrigerator. That's it. That's what I'll organize in exchange for you walking my dog 12 times and 12 different separate walks, 1 hour. So be as specific as possible. And this really cleans up and makes sure that you're both getting what you're bartering for and that the expectations are being met. And I mean, we could have a whole nother show all about this type of thing in relationships and how to clarify things and how this can avoid so much trouble in any kind of relationship. Just being really clear and specific about what that picture is, what that means that you're asking for or requesting, because our pictures can be very different in our mind versus what you're really asking for. After all that, it's really fun if you get into this bartering and you really get working on it. It's great to keep a small ledger book of how much you're saving over time with bartering, and then perhaps pay yourself a little bit of money into a special savings account for all the money you saved. And that money can be your holiday money, party money, emergency money, whatever kind of money you need. There's always something. And so that might be a fun way to do that as well. In this episode, we're also going to discuss how bartering can help you rebuild your financial house and create abundance in all areas of your life. So, I wanted to go over the Boots formula that I always recommend when you're up leveling your finances and wanting to attract more abundance in all areas of your life. So, the Boots formula is something you can learn more about in my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. The book is available for free on Audible. If you're just signing up, it's also available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and wherever fine books are sold. So the B in the Boots formula is for being who you are, and being who you are being in all you are doing, and how do you need to show up to create abundance in your finance, your relationships, and all areas of your life. So how you're showing up is going to make a huge difference. That's being. The next letter in the Boots formula is O for orientation. It is when you sit down and you're honest about where you are, you create your budget, and then you move towards the outcomes you create for your heart's desire. So, whatever category in your life to make your life work even better or have more abundance in any area of your life, you're going to have, whether it's a budget or a key performance indicator or some way to track that goal, to see where you are and to really be honest about where you are in that area, whether it's your relationship, your finances, your family life, your home life, whatever piece of that of your life that you're working toward, that orientation about where you are, really honestly where you are and where you're going to be, and then that budget or tracking mechanism is going to help you move towards the outcomes and to finally create that life or business or career that your heart has always desired. So that is the first O. That was orientation. Now we're going to the second O in the Boots formula, And that is the order of operations, the order in which you start to go from perhaps a place of survival and on over to financial and overall business and life integration that leads to true independence and abundance that comes from taking the right steps in the best possible order. Your success and abundance will grow exponentially this way. Then we get to the T in the Boots formula. So when you think of T, think of thinking and mindset. Mindset matters. So put on your thinking caps and prepare to let go and let flow with form and freedom, always moving toward that which brings you the most joy. This thinking is huge. If you just stop right now and either take notes, BOOT for thinking in the Boots formula, and think about what you are moving towards. That is a huge focus, not what you're moving away from. Because what we focus on is what we get more of. So if you're moving toward more joy, more abundance, if you're up leveling, then that's where your thinking needs to go. The S in the Boots formula is for stepping up. This is where the action comes from. So it may first look like after this episode, let's say, that you're going to set up a personal challenge to find a way to barter in your business or personal life. It can just be a small step. You know, if you're trying to get back into health and fitness and wellness, that could be actually a physical step of every day I'm going to take so many steps, or I'm going to step out of the house and into the gym, or step away from the cake, or whatever it is. So this stepping up is the action. You can have a great mindset, you can have a tracking system, but you got to do the work, and stepping up is the work part. And just remember, I truly believe, and I've seen this over and over again, that when you do something in one area of your life, whatever area you're focused on right now, we're talking about budgets and finances, that's going to really spill over to the other areas of your life. As you get that more organized, reordered, you're going to find you'll have more success with maybe you're sleeping better because your budget's better. Maybe you have more time because you're able to at a certain point buy some time freedom either through bartering or through actually paying for services that can help you, so that you can delegate those things that you don't love to do and do more of what really fuels you. So you're going to see that it's going to show up. You're going to have more time to donate, to contribute, whether that's time to contribute to an organization you love and care about, or actually physical money to donate to an organization, a nonprofit that you really support and want to help with in one way or another. Now that we have the Boots formula in mind, let's talk about bartering again. Just a little bit more. I just want to go back to that. Remember, for a small business owner, or if you have a career, a side gig, bartering can really get you far, especially when you're starting out. So if you are starting that side gig that a lot of people are doing nowadays, see how much bartering you can do. Now I want to get into the focus of resilience and abundance. So, resilience is the ability to overcome adversity, and bounce back from tough situations. It's the quality that enables us to keep going even when things get tough. It's a crucial trait to have in life, especially in these times of uncertainty and change. So, how do we develop resilience? It starts with a mindset shift. So, reframing your thinking to see your obstacles as opportunities for growth. Instead of dwelling on the problem that you might not be able to change, If that's another person, place, or thing that's out of your control, focus on finding solutions. Focus on a positive mantra or affirmation that you create for yourself. So, one of my favorite ones is the universe conspires for our highest and best good. And I truly believe that. I've seen it over and over again that things working out for me, things aren't happening to me. I'm being guided to something even better. And that really just takes a lot off of me. Um, One of the most powerful tools for building resilience is the gratitude. By focusing on the things we have to be grateful for, we can shift our mindset from one of scarcity to that of abundance. It truly happens with mindset. And if you know me well, you know I love the Tony Robbins seminars and all that he does. And he always snaps his finger and says, a decision happens in an instant. And that decision changes and shapes your destiny. And so it really does start with that mindset and that decision. Once you have that focus on gratitude, abundance, and you make the decision, that switch, it will build resilience. It will help you face any seeming adversity at that moment, because you know that on the other side of that is all the success, the wealth, the abundance that you've ever desired. Another key component of resilience is self care. Taking care of our physical, emotional, and mental health is essential for building resilience. When we feel good about ourselves, we're better able to cope with the challenges that come our way. Now, how does that equate to abundance? Self care and gratitude totally are the foundations to abundance. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're exhausted, if you're not eating properly or giving yourself sunshine or time, proper water, proper fluids, all these things, social connections. We need that. We need hugs and talking to people face to face, even though you're online. We need that. There's so much behind that if you look into studies. And what happens is the more gratitude you have, the more you're able to connect with people, to give back in gratitude without expecting anything in return. This is where abundance shows up, because you're giving. So your hand is opened, and then the willingness to be grateful and to receive what shows up for you. Sometimes that can look kind of different, because you might be asked to do something or go somewhere that, I don't know, it may be different than what you would normally do. But if you go there and do that thing, that may be exactly the place or the thing you needed to do, that you were guided to go to, that's going to give you exactly what you're looking for. So it's that open mindedness, staying open minded to how the abundance will manifest, is stepping out of your comfort zone perhaps a little bit and going with the flow, which is kind of hard if you're trying to control the outcome and you want things to happen the way you think your mind thinks it's supposed to happen, like this. Uh, the other day I talked to a friend, and she was a beautiful lady. Um, I would say she's probably late 60s ish, and she was sharing about how happy she is. She's been married for 5 or 6 years, and she was sharing about how happy she is in her marriage and how wonderful it is and how wonderful her husband is, and she's so grateful. I said, "Wow, how long have you been married?" And 5 years, 6 years. And she goes on, and I said, "Okay, tell me the story. How did this happen?" and and you know, she ended up finding a new person moved next door, and that's how it worked out for her. But she had to be willing to talk to the new neighbor, right? And if you've heard my show before, you've heard my fun story of how I manifested my car, my Mercedes, and how that happened after I had lost a car and a house to the California fires. And I literally turned on the abundance magnet. I turned on that manifesting, and I mean, things just kept showing up, and it was one thing after another that made no sense in my mind, but it worked out in reality for me. And it was fast. It was so fast. I couldn't even believe how fast it was. It was like a fun game. And it was like I had nothing left to lose, right? So while I was waiting for everything to get sorted, I was just like, okay, I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to stay in gratitude. I'm going to go with the flow. And I was working with real estate clients. So one of my good clients flew in and needed to find a home and asked me to drive a car she rented all weekend to show her around. She was coming from Virgin Islands area, so that you kind of like London or UK, you drive on the other side of the road, compared to what you would drive in the States. And so she was nervous about that, and so I drove for her, and she had rented this really cute Mercedes. And, it wasn't super fancy, but it was a nice one. And she said, "Whoa, that Mercedes looks good on you." And I said, "Yeah, this feels good. I really enjoyed driving this car all weekend." And then I had to take another client out the next week. A few days later, after that whole weekend, I worked long hours looking, and we found her place, a home. And then I had to rent, because remember, I had lost my car in a fire, my house and my car. And so I went ahead and rented a Mercedes, a nice one. I guess I like those cars, but that was what was available. And I was going to take another client out. Lo and behold, that car stalled in a different side of town that I'm usually not at. It was, I would say, like kind of like warehouse area, and there was car lots not too far. And sometimes, if you have your phone on or whatever, you get like the advertisements pop in from something close by or whatever. And so I get this ding on my phone, and I had finished calling I rented on Turo, so I called the owner, and they arranged for AAA to come and get the car and get me out of the payment for renting that car for that week. And I had to figure out where to go. A few blocks away was an invitation to go see these um, new cars. I think it was Honda or Hyundai. I can't even remember the brand. But I was like, well, I need a really fancy car to take out my clients. This doesn't make any sense. Why would I bother going to see those cars? Not that I don't like them. I've actually owned both of those other brands before, but for what I was doing at the time, real estate in Beverly Hills area, you kind of want a nicer car for your clients, or you'd have to rent one. It's the way it was. And so I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to stay open-minded, because that's different. I don't want to just cut off an opportunity. And the opportunity was, come test drive this car, and we're going to give you a $75 Visa grocery card, or, for groceries or whatever you need. And I had lost everything. So I was like, well, that doesn't hurt. I'll go do that. It's 2 blocks away. I'm stuck here. And what's the difference? I can take the Uber from there. And maybe I need to be open-minded. Maybe the universe has something in mind for me, that one of those cars is going to, kind of work for what I'm doing. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm just going to be open-minded, and I'm not going to fight it, because I'm going to go with the flow. And so I went over there, and right there on the lot, I mean, I was like, jump back. What do I see on this lot? This is insane. I mean, they were waiting for clients, so of course they ran up to me, and I had two salespeople, and the one guy finally got to me first, and I said, "That car right there," and I'm pointing to the Mercedes. It was the exact same Mercedes model, color, model, style, you name it. It was like a duplicate twin of the one that I had drove around in town with my friend all weekend prior, looking for that house for her, and that we said, "Oh, that car looks good on you," and manifest it. And there it was, and it was pre-owned. It had miles. I usually only buy cars with miles. If you ever did real estate or do real estate or anything like that, that is the way to go, because you're just going to put some miles on the car. It doesn't really, you want a nicer model, depending on where you're working, sure, but it doesn't make any sense to buy new. So I was amazed. There this car was, sitting right there in the front, waiting for me. Now, just think about it. What if I didn't want to manifest and I wasn't in an abundant state of mind? I could have sat crying in the car that broke down, upset because I lost that appointment with that other client I was going to go see, and that other client was happy to reschedule. So I actually did get to help her. That was a new client. I got to help her with her. She was looking for a lease, I believe. So that kind of worked out anyway. It was a better time, and the other house came the next day, that wasn't listed that day. So that was the perfect house for her and her family. So that even lined up. And there I went, and the deal, I said, "Listen, here's where I'm at. Can you get me into that car? I only have so much down. I just lost everything with, so my credit's tied up into house and car and this and that I haven't finished paying off yet, just yet, because it was so new with the fire and everything." Um, and I got into that car and drove off with the car that we were talking about manifesting, because I was open minded. That's what I believe, at least. I was guided. I was in manifesting mode. I was in abundance, but I also did that last part of the Boots formula, the BOOTS, Boots formula. And that is stepping up. That is taking action. Action that sometimes doesn't always make sense. How is this relationship, friendship, business opportunity, vehicle, new home, uh, you name it? How is this going to show up? Take that step. Take that step. Go with the flow. Do your affirmations, your prayers, whatever your religious belief may be. Um, I do my daily prayers. I do my daily meditations. But I also, if I would have sat in the car that broke down and cried, or I would have sat at home, or, in the little makeshift house, I had a 400 square foot little room I was staying in because I lost my entire home. Um, I could have just sat there, but I chose to take some action and go with what's the next thing. So it really is, when you are up leveling and rebooting, reinventing your life, starting from scratch, or creating something even better, that is when taking action and not questioning how it shows up at first. Just, I was invited, let me go with this flow. That's going to make a huge difference. You're going to be blown away. Just that little piece of abundance. Okay. So if you're feeling discouraged or overwhelmed, remember that you have the power to create the abundance you desire by shifting your mindset, practicing gratitude, and taking care of yourself. You can overcome any obstacles that show up. Now, as I conclude this story of financial and personal abundance, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your life and where you stand today. Are you living the life you truly desire, or are you settling for less than you deserve? Are you struggling to find financial freedom, relationship freedom, home ownership freedom, business success, career success? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I have a powerful solution for you. I have a new LifeWorks Financial and Whole Life Abundance Mastermind that is designed to help you achieve your goals and live your best life. Now, in this weekly live mastermind, I have sessions that provide personalized, actionable steps that will guide you through the profitable tools to help you in your business or your career and your life integration. We focus on helping you achieve not only financial freedom and success, yet also finding the fulfillment in all aspects of your life. Now, this mastermind is a really fair priced mastermind, but it is a 6 month minimum commitment. I just finished another group mastermind, and so this is a new one that's opening up. And that commitment makes all the difference. You're not going to get everything you want in your life reorganized and rebuilt in 1 week. Um, you might, you could just, win the lotto or something. And I do not say that's not going to happen. However, this commitment is a commitment to yourself. So you're making the investment in yourself and in your family, and that's priceless. Imagine having the financial peace and freedom to spend more time with those that matter most. So, the next group is actually starting May 1st, 2023. But I do urge you to take action now and join us on this incredible journey towards abundance and success. So, go ahead and visit my website, SheilaMac.com. That's SHEILAMAC.com to learn more and sign up for the Abundance and LifeWorks Mastermind today. Don't wait any longer to live the life you truly desire. The opportunity is here and it's waiting for you. So, to learn more about the mastermind and also for other resources, again, just go to SheilaMac.com, and I would love to see you there. There is also a special section there where you can get a free copy of the Boots meditation, and that is going to go through that Boots formula and walk you through the pieces to starting your abundance and LifeWorks. Um, if you are ready to just get going right away, get that free offer today. And now I have a message from our sponsors. All right, stay tuned. And if you are just tuning in, this is NBC's Sheila Mack Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today I have a special invitation for you. That's right, just for you. I invite you to join me on the Sheila Mack Show on YouTube and subscribe. And also go to my website, SheilaMac.com, and there you will find a free gift that is the Boots meditation to enjoy. And we are now moving on to a new section that will come up every day on the show. Again, this is NBC's Sheila Mack Show right here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. This show is now going to over 780 additional radio channels and stations around the globe, and you can also see and listen to the show recordings if you go to YouTube and look up Sheila Mack Show. I hope you go there and like and subscribe. I've also, if you want to make any comments, that is the place to go, to the YouTube channel. There you can make comments, suggestions, ask questions, and I'd love to hear your feedback and also have your support. So it isn't that hard. Go over to the YouTube and look for Sheila Mack Show. We are moving on to our time to talk about property for profits. So you may be a investor already, or this is something that may sound like an impossibility in our crazy times, and it is difficult and different. And so that is the importance of planning ahead. And something like this new mastermind course that I'm offering is going to make all the difference. So this is a section that will be here going forward. I'm going to continue with the property for profits time during the show. And you wonder, how can you get started investing in real estate? Well, investing in property can be a great way to build wealth and create passive income. But where do you begin? Depending on where you're starting, your journey may look different. For instance, you could use rental arbitrage to rent out rooms in a leased apartment to save up for the down payment of your first home. Alternately, you may also need to reboot your credit and save up for a small down payment on your first home. Now, this is where it gets kind of fun. You can learn how the many ways that you can qualify for not only the first time home buyers, there's some that have government grants, different programs with no money down, many specialized loan programs that are available now. And no, I'm not selling loans. However, I've had to do some homework to help many of my clients actually qualify and get into their first home. And it does take some strategy and planning ahead in order to do this. So, there is another thing that you can do that some people don't know about, and that is you can purchase a duplex, triplex, or 4 units where you qualify on that as a home loan. So, you actually would need to live in one of the units, and then the other 2 units, 3 units, 1 unit, whatever extra units, up to 4 units total, you would qualify as a home loan. And that would mean that you could show your income from perhaps your W 2s, 1099s, or whatever else you're doing for income. And then you can also, if the rental units are already rented out, or if they will be rented out, you can show projected income. It's better if some of them already are rented out so you can show some cash flow. And so, with that, at that point, then your income that you're making, your take home pay, W 2, 1099, whatever you have going on there, interest income, income from other investments, then that is added to the rental income that would be coming in on that property, and that's how you can qualify for buying the duplex, triplex, or fourplex, and then it's still under the category of a single family home loan or home loan. And so then those tenants will actually help you pay down the mortgage. Some of the things to consider. Okay, you're going to have to put aside some money um, to go ahead and have emergency repairs. You're going to want to make sure that you have this, especially if you're renting out, whether you're renting out a room in your home or you've got a duplex, triplex, fourplex that's under a single family home loan. You're going to want to have the best insurance you can have, and also set aside money for those surprises, whether it's the leaky roof. One of the apartment units has some type of heating, air leak, you name it. So that is important when you plan this out, that you have enough to cover your mortgage and enough to put some away uh, to pay for property taxes, insurance, and that special time when you have a vacancy or you have the repairs. You might have to do landscaping, yard work, a pipe might burst, you know, some kind of something. When you own a home, whether it's your own home that you're living in yourself with no income, or you have these units paying for your mortgage, basically, you're still going to have upkeep. You're still going to have expenses. So it's really important to set aside a little bit for those fun rainy day surprises when the roof leaks or what have you. And then the next thing that's really important to know and plan ahead for is definitely to pay down that mortgage as quickly as you can. There's a few different ways to accelerate paying down your mortgage without really costing you that much more money. It takes quite a few years off. And of course, if you have that extra income coming in from the tenants, that's going to take a lot of pressure off for those times when you're not able to pay it just out of your personal income. So it really makes it go quickly, and then that may be your goal, may be then to buy more passive income properties and travel the globe, or it may be that you want to get into the dream house that has more privacy and freedom that way. It's all up to what you desire. At some point, you may want to have one of the homes that has a separate area for elders or kids coming back home from college or in college right now. Those are kind of cool. The multifamily or Gen X, I think they're called. There's different names depending on what state you live in. There's different names for these units. Guest house, casita. So those are kind of nice as well. If you're buying a home and you can get the home for close to the same price, get the one with the option where you can at least create some sort of extra income. That's always a better choice. All right. And so you can also learn other tips like how to best choose your tenants, what rate you're going to offer your property for rent or lease at. That's really important. Sometimes you're better off having a fair rate rather than overcharging and having people move out more frequently because there's a big cost with the vacancy. So it's nice when you're able to find some long-term people that will take good care of their units because it's their home, and you're able to be a happy landlord, landlady, and help your tenants that way in this economy, but still you're going to be better off than having high turnover if you raise your rates too much. There's a lot of laws that you need to learn when you're doing your rental for the first time, and I go into all that kind of stuff in detail in our masterminds, because that's when we get into deeper um, areas. And it's really important to do everything legal by your state laws, your city laws. If you're in a homeowner association, which is often a concern if you're renting, because there's extra rules that you have to be aware of depending on the city and state that you're purchasing in. So all those things have to be taken into account when you're doing your rental. There's also a whole other ball of wax that is the rental vacation homes. I was a super host for many years with the Airbnb, and I still work with a few of those and have a couple going here and there. And so the Airbnb, that's nice. They have some insurance, and I truthfully lean toward the corporate housing with the Airbnb, the longer term rental programs. Uh, Usually I'll have travel nurses or business people that need to relocate, and they're staying maybe like in California, maybe they're shooting a movie, and so they need to stay while they're shooting the movie, or they need to stay because they're a nurse and they have a 6 month, 8 month, so many months. And so there's a different type of a turnover. There's less maintenance and work, and also there's less problems because they're usually not going to have the wild parties and trash your place. So those are all things to think about. You also make more money that way, and many times the business or the whatever they're doing for the travel will help pay for that. So you're able to command a fair rate with less work. So those are all things that we get more into detail at, and we will talk about different pieces of this. But I just wanted to introduce this little area um, to the show, and this is the Property for Profits section. So I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you would like to comment, the best way to make your comments is to go to my YouTube channel. Every show is saved there on the YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and then look up Sheila Mack Show. So the other option you have is I am inviting those interested to join the Property for Profits course and start your journey to financial freedom today. The next new 8-week course session starts on May 18th, and you don't want to miss out. This is something that I will be teaching. I will be leading this course, but it will also consist of very individualized emails and talks each week. So there is a lot that you get for your specific needs based on where you're at in your investment journey, whether you're starting out or you're looking to grow and do those exchanges and more complex deals. That is something that we work together on the basics in the course, and then we have our weekly meeting as well as an individualized email and talk that goes back and forth, so that you are able to get the help that you need to get started. And all that can be found on my website if you go to SheilaMac.com, and there, SheilaMac.com. There you can also find a special gift. Earlier we talked about reinventing, rebuilding, and rebooting your business and personal life. And so I do share about the Boots formula, and BOOTS, the Boots formula. That's based on my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom and back into action in any situation. And I have a gift for you. That's right, just for you. And that gift is a free Boots meditation. And this is anytime that you need to reboot, start over, dust yourself off and get back on track. It's a good way to start a planning session, a journaling session, to strategize your next course of action. And that's Boots Meditation is a free gift for you at SheilaMac.com.
Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mack's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.SheilaMac.com today.
Tune in again right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.